Hi everybody. So yeah, I know it's been quite a while. I'm so sorry about that. Hold on a second. I don't know what happened between school ending and camp starting, and whew, it's been busy. But I also kind of lost interest and lost my mojo somewhere along the way. But anyway, I'm back. And this is, I think, part 4 of my packaging series. And I got a couple of requests to do shabby tags or shabby chic style tags. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and what I use when I think about shabby or shabby chic. My style might be a little bit different than yours. Some people do shabby vintage. Some people do like super luxurious shabby chic. I think mine's a little more like shabby elegant, sort of. But anyway, I usually try to keep gift tags on the simpler side, but I went sort of overboard here. So I'm going to share some things with you and how to use products you might have, which is why I kept the die cutting to something as simple as possible. We don't all start on the same level. We're not at the same level as crafters. Some of us are just starting. Some have been around for a while, crafting for a long time. So our supplies are, different. So I'm going to share with you and hope this helps you whether you have a ton of supplies or very little supplies. I've been crafting for a long time and I have a lot in my stash. So I'm trying to, be as simple as possible so that, no one feels bad or says, I can't do that, or you can always do it. So I'm going to be using the same sets that I have shared with you before. And I think I explained why I like sets like these. This is 661086 by Brenda Walton. And why I like sets like these, this might look like maybe a card maker's set, but you can use this as embellishments. You can use these for tags. So I used that. And then I used this Sizzix set, which is a bunch of nested tags, different shapes. And I have shared this as well. So I like these because you can, obviously, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 tags. I mean, different shapes, different sizes, and you can get a lot of use out of these. And then what I did use was, when I think of shabby chic, I really think of the paper first. And this is one of my favorites, Floral Pavilion. And this is my all-time favorite, Bella Rose. So I think of like papers, colors in these color schemes. Okay. I also use just a couple of word stickers. You can use, you can make your own. There are a couple of great ladies out there showing how you can make your own word stickers. And then I'm just going to quickly show you, I got the newest Avery L bag topper a few weeks ago, and I'm just obsessed with bag toppers. So yeah, this one is just called, there we go. Okay, so I wanted to share with you this tag. So I created it with this paper. It's a little bit textured, but I liked the colors, very soft pinks and blues. I kept, pearls, appliques. A lot of people use lots of lace and flourishes. So I kept it simple. So this is what it looks like. Okay. And I think this is shabby, but it's more like, I don't know, shabby elegant maybe. It's not as overloaded, which I also love, but when it comes to kind of gift tags, you never know. I don't want to overload it, but anyway, so I wanted to share with you quickly how I made it. So, okay, so this is the base. And what I did was I used that die set to cut out one of the circles, and I mounted it. I cut it in half and mounted it on half the tag. It just adds a little interest and like a base layer. And then I took these pearl sprays, which you can find online. You can find them at Hobby Lobby in the wedding section. So basically I'm just going to kind of like where I think it would go. And if you do too much glue, don't even worry about it because it's going to get covered up. Okay, so that's that. Okay, sometimes I plan things out, or I just bring a bunch of flowers in different colors and work with it. What I wanted to share with you is if you don't have leaves, you can always use remnants of your laces. This is a doily that I cut out the center from a different project and kept, and I cut it apart. Okay, and I used these as leaves, and that's perfect for a shabby project. So let me see, where is it? Okay, what I did was I cut a portion out, and then I folded it. Okay, and I'm just going to glue it down where I kind of think it's going to go with my flower placement. Okay, and what I also like about shabby, the shabby look, is you can use fabric flowers. You can also find these online at like Crafts for You, or Hobby Lobby, or anywhere. What I like about these is that they have the pearl sprays already in them. And now I just kind of go about, I'm obviously quite liberal with my glue because I don't know, it's going to get covered up, and I don't like someone to receive something from me and have it, either fall apart or not glued properly. And then I just kind of start going like this, and you see it just adds a little bit of interest there, this little layer of fabric, doily, lace, whatever you have. Okay, and I know you guys like watching the process, so I'm kind of doing the process here along with you guys. So another piece of this, and I just folded it over to kind of make it look like leaves. And now I'm going to put it on this side, I think. And then I'll just lift the flower, tuck it under there. Okay, and you could leave it just like that, but I also have this piece. And I'm going to tuck it under here. So it just kind of adds another layer and another level of something to look at on the tag. And what you can do here is you can use a piece, you can wrap your packaging, wrap your gift, and then use this to hang the tag, and then the recipient can take that off and reuse this if they'd like. Or they can throw away the wrapping paper and keep the tag just as a keepsake. So, okay, so that's that. Now sometimes, I thought I had a sentiment here, but anyway, let me see. This is from, let me just show you. These dies, I think I shared these once. They're Thinlits, Stephanie Ackerman. These are called Circle Sayings, I think. Okay, and then what I would do is I would take my glue pen and kind of, I hope I'm in frame. Oh yeah, okay. I'll just do it loosely like this. And then I will glue it further. Okay. And I love my bone folder. I bought this originally a couple of years ago, mainly for mini albums. It's a non-stick bone folder. But I love it because obviously nothing sticks to it, and I use it for glue, glue gun, you know, for just burnishing a lot of my projects. So there you go. Okay. Okay. So then I thought I would show you a different one if you have something small, a small package, or this is the only shape you have to work with. Okay, so there's the word sticker. I used the leaves from that die set I showed you, and then the little baby flowers. These are mostly Wild Orchid Craft. Some of them might be I Am Roses. So again, I am just going to share with you quickly. These are the cute little sprays that are also in that die set. So you see, it's very versatile. Sometimes you think, well, you know, if I only have like $20 to spend, what am I going to spend it on? Everyone has tons of paper. I think you spend it on a die. You can always use a coupon if you don't shop online, you know, at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I think it's worth it. Like I said, it's not just only for cards. So I think I'm just babbling. Okay, so I kind of leave it hanging off a little bit. Then I am going to take this guy. Okay, put it like that. Then I'm going to take another one of these little pieces, the doily piece. Okay. And put it there. And then I'll clean up any glue strings later when I'm off camera. Okay, let me see, can you see that? Okay. Okay, so there's something different. What I also like to use are these. I don't remember where I got these. I might have gotten them from Wild Orchid Crafts. But what I do is I cut them apart, and then I make like a little bunch out of it, almost like a little bouquet. And then I will take some glue and lift my flowers and kind of shove it under there. And you see it adds like another extra little dimension, a little prettiness, you know, something, I don't know, something different. And then I'm going to take my little word sticker. Okay. And just put it in there. Okay, take this, burnish it a little bit, and there you have another tag, a different shape, a different style, different colors. This paper is one of my favorites. It's so pretty. Okay, so there's that. You could also do the simpler one, which is simply the two pieces. So these two pieces, layer them on top of each other, and I love that. You see I took the green And I think this is actually the B side of this paper. No, I'm wrong. But anyway, it does coordinate. I love polka dots, stripes like this. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, and then what I just did was I took my crocodile, I punched a hole, and then with one of the pieces of the pink polka dot paper, I used my Martha Stewart bow punch. It makes the cutest, perfect size for tags, actually, gift tags like this. And then I created the bow, and again, very simple. Okay, can add the seam binding, and you know, you can either put an initial here or just even leave it simple. I mean, this is so pretty on its own. So there's another idea, and I'm going to create with you this one. Again, this is all from the same die set, so you see you can get different looks. And oh, here we go. Okay, I had planned it with this. So again, here is my my little doily piece. Stick it down. Sorry about that. Okay, you'll be neater than I am at the moment. Now I'm going to take, again, what I did was I found these at the Hobby Lobby wedding section. When they're 50% off, it comes out to $1. And I have been using this liberally, so you can see how much I have left. What I do is I take a sprig, and then I just kind of form a little bouquet like this, and then I glue it and cut it off when the glue is dried. Okay, so I'm not going to worry too much about putting too much or too little glue because it's going to get covered. Okay, and then again I just kind of go about my business. I know that it helps to see the process of how people layer things, so I'm just trying to do the best I can with the timing of the memory card or whatever, you know what I mean. Let me just put another glue stick in here. Ooh, that was hot. Okay. So I have one more, and I try to pool my flowers according to like when I'm gathering them and collecting them for a project, what papers I'm using. So I added a little bit of green, and then I used this one, which is one of my favorites. It's a white rose with the pink center. Okay. And then this is a, what is this one called? I don't know what this one is called, but here's the packaging. I think this is Wild Orchid Crafts. If not, it's I Am Roses, but, oh, I have glue stuck to my nails. Okay, so don't be afraid if it gets a little covered up there, because you can always add more. Sometimes what I do is I will take this and I will kind of open the flowers like this and tuck it in. And that way, you see? You have little sprays shooting out from top instead of just always layered on the bottom. And then you can take your word die. This one is from, I think I got this, yeah. I got this at Hobby Lobby. So it's by Momenta, and it's all of these words. So I cut it out 2 or 3 times. I layered it on top of each other just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then Oops. Okay. And sometimes I just really like put a block down, like one of these. I'll put it down just to keep it in place until the glue sets. But I think that's good. And there you go. You have another gift tag in a different shape, something different, you know? Different way to look at our supplies. And I think that whatever your level is, you're able to achieve this totally. Okay, don't be afraid to do patterns and florals with polka dots or stripes. Okay. Now, let's do one more. If you don't have lots of thread, you know, seam binding, ribbons, things like that, don't be afraid to take whatever laces, or even if you have a fatter lace than this, like a thicker lace, a wider lace, you can make it into a bow. And that can kind of be, you know, one of your focal points. I mean, I think with Shabby Chic, as long as the colors are on the softer side, you can pretty much do, you know, anything. Within reason, of course. I mean, you know, if you want to really adhere to the to whatever the color scheme you think it is, I wouldn't be too rigid with it, because after all, you know, it is shabby. I mean, you want it to be chic, I guess, but a lot of, when you look up Shabby Chic, I see a lot of luxurious layers, luscious laces. It doesn't necessarily mean chic to me, you know? So you can do something like that. And let's add something else. Okay, so here, let's add some of these. Okay, I will take these. Let me just see if I can let me cut a little bit more off. These little sprays and little sprigs are very forgiving. So you see, I cut all that off. And then what I do is I will sometimes put this mat down, glue it, and if the glue is very hot, which it is, I will use my bone folder to kind of hold it down like that. And because this is a non-stick mat, I'm not really worried because it's going to come right off. Okay. And then nothing sticks to that. Peel this off. And then I can tuck this in somewhere. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So you see, it adds a little something extra. Okay, now if you wanted and you had more, which I have plenty, again, here's what I do. I take this, I cut it, okay? So this is just meant to give you some different ideas. And I think it totally helps to, you know, watch and see what other people do. You might pick up something that you never thought of that I'm doing. And you do it your own way, or you just think of an idea based on what you saw. and you're good to go. So why not just keep going? Okay. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit long, but I know that you guys asked, and I'm sorry for being away so long. Okay. All right, so there goes that. And you see, I can just keep going and going. It's like never ending. Okay. Okay, so let's try one more. What I did was I took that label layer and I just folded it over. Okay, then if you wanted just to put the sentiment there on top as your focal point, okay. I think that's super cute, just like that. Oops. Okay. Then I had this lace or this applique, the butterfly applique. I just put a tiny little stream of glue. Put it up like that. Okay. And then again, I have, since these are on my desk, you know, I will just find a way to, while I'm creating, I just find a way to incorporate them so that I don't have to put them back when my projects are done. Okay. As you can see, I'm not really worried about how neat it is. And I like when the flower becomes like this because it did the work for me. So if you wanted this flower, you can just fold it like this or squish it down and tuck it into little empty spots. Okay. Whoops. Let me clean off my... Okay. So there you have it. Another little style where you can layer these guys. You could put way more than that. I would maybe put way more than that. But you could even, if you don't have any or you see an empty spot like that, you can just take a small flower and make use of the empty space. Okay, so I hope that this has given you lots of ideas. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be doing 1 or 2 more videos. If there's something you'd like to see that I didn't cover, I'd be more than happy to share it. So what I wanted to show you here was, this was the bag topper. You see how I used that lace? I literally just took the lace like this, put it down like that, and then glued the flowers around it. Okay, so you can see it peeking out from here. You can see it peeking out from here. And I just totally did a sloppy job of using up all these like little pieces that were in my stash that I just didn't want to throw away. So I hope that this has helped, and if you have stayed this long through the video, all you have to do is leave a comment and I will draw a winner for some of these tags, and I will send them out to you All you have to do is leave a comment, be a subscriber, and if you've come this far, just tell me what shape is your favorite shape of tag to create. So yeah, okay. Have a great day, guys. Happy 4th. Be safe if you're here in the US. Happy 4th of July, and I will see you soon. Bye.